What is up? Welcome to iCkEdMeL. Thanks for stopping by. Something just happened to my screen over here. Oh, I don't know what's going on there. Welcome, man. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to be talking about Lina, a new missing person in Florida. That there's a little bit of details, but not much. What is up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? Michelle, Wendy. Trying to get myself together here. I wanted to come on for a little bit at least so we can talk about some of the updates, some of the things that are going on. Sherry, Sean, Carly, Tammy. True crime. Chaos. Chaos. Eden, Mickey, Kim, Tony, Bridget, Pam, Lexa, BL, Vic, Stop, Michelle. Keep going on and on and on. I was trying to show you guys this overview, and the thing kind of freaked out on me. We're going to start out with the Florida woman first, because it's somewhat brief. It's over here. So this woman, I'll give you a little bit of the details while we let this play in the background. This is like the helicopter overview flying over this park. And this place is called Wekiwa Springs State Park. It's not Wekiwa, it's Wekiwa. No, it's Wekiwa, I think. And this is a 31-year-old woman. Let me see if I can pull up some pictures for you guys. We're also going to talk about that Utah story a little bit. And maybe we'll call my crazy friend as well and see if he has something to say about that. We'll leave that towards later, though. But Paola, this is what she looks like. This is one of the pictures here. Okay. Thank you, Cool Edge. Appreciate that. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you, too. Appreciate that. If you guys could hit like and share. And thank you for the people that watched the video yesterday. I really appreciate the people that came through or watched it after. Thank you for that. That video is still not approved, but I appreciate the people that came through and helped boost the video. So this is Paola, 31 years old. Let me show another picture. One right here. Okay. And another one here. Okay. 31 years old, date of birth 12/9/1990, red hair, brown eyes, 4 foot 10 inches, white/Hispanic. Last seen 12/17/2021. And so she was last seen at this address, 3330 South Semoran Blvd in Orlando, Florida, by her family. Paola was last wearing blue jean shorts, and green or white shirt. She's believed to be in her black 2011 Chevrolet HHR bearing Florida license plate QGID23. Some of the interesting things is Paola suffers from schizophrenia, and she has bipolar disorder, and she supposedly has made threats to harm herself in the past. However, none were made at this time. So, and I'm just going to kind of skip through this, but I'm going to give it a little bit of time for everybody to join. Thank you, Pam, for the super chat. Hope you guys are doing good. Holidays. Everybody's kind of crazy right now on the road. We were talking on Discord about just crazy things that are going on the road. Yesterday when I was with my daughter and I was at a light to make a left turn, I was just waiting because all these cars were coming. I guess the guy behind me thought I was taking too long. So he like swerves out to the middle of traffic, right? And then he swerves back in to come in front of me. And then he throws himself into oncoming traffic. I'm like, whoa, what in the world? And so as he was going, there was a car in the last lane. I guess he didn't see that car. That car almost, like I'm telling you, like an inch, like just almost like the car had to hit. If the car didn't stop or slow down, the one that was oncoming that had the right of way would have hit the guy. So close. So people are just nuts out on the streets right now. You know, the roads, they're always crazy, but maybe now the holidays a little bit more. But this is over the park. Let me show you a little bit of the map too. I pulled it up. Take a little look. I mean, it's a huge, huge park, man. So this is the address 3330, this area here where she was last seen, but her car was found at this park. Now, I'm not sure like what part of the park, like what entrance. It says here Wekiwa Springs State Park, but then there's like the lower River Preserve State Park. It's a huge, huge area. And so this is the helicopter going over. Hey, Brittany, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Mel, so happy you're live. Enjoy your holiday. Everyone stay safe. Thank you. Appreciate that. So I'm just going to fast forward a little bit so you guys can get a kind of like a visual. Oh, it's just a parking lot? It keeps doing that thing where it glitches out. 31 years old. Car found. She's nowhere to be found. So December 17. It's been now, let's see how many days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. So not looking good. And that's all I could find. I didn't really see anything else with regards to this lady. I figured we could just plug her in and we'll follow and kind of keep up to date. You know, hopefully it's not the worst scenario. But you know, don't know. It made me think a little bit, just reminded me a little bit of the whole Brian Laundrie thing, just thinking of like the state park, and now it's just like massive search, and you know. Now with Lina, the 3-year-old, there hasn't been many updates today. There was a presser yesterday, so I want to play that presser. It's kind of short. Let me play the presser for you in case anybody missed it. I skimmed through it. And I also had a couple of people, somebody reached out to me that has a boyfriend that lives in a complex, and somebody else that knows that place too reached out to me and gave me a little bit of information what that place is like. Let's see here. Yeah, we do this here.
So I'm going to give you an update on what we've been doing. I'll tell you up front that we have not had much success in trying to determine where Lina is right now, but I'll tell you what we've been doing to try to get there. But first I want to thank a number of people who have been assisting us in this search that are not involved in our department, and ask them if child abduction rapid response team. But I want to make clear that we are not treating this as an abduction right now. They can provide resources that we don't have to assist us in this search. We are not treating it as an abduction right now. We are treating it as a missing person. I want to thank the FBI for that and their continued assistance. USAA, who has been very gracious to allow us to set up our command post on their grounds. VIA, who helped transport our cadets this morning from the academy to help us the search. They searched a number of wooded areas in that area. The Red Cross, SAPOA, and the 100 Club for providing food to all those that are working out there. HEB, who has also provided us assistance in providing food for the workers and some other things, and a couple of community leaders, Saqib Sheikh, who is with the National Children's Education Center, and Noor Mohammed, who is one of the community leaders that has been helping us connect with the community in that apartment complex. They've all been instrumental in helping us carry out our duties as they're related to this search. So right now we've got 2 different command centers. We've got one at UTSA, and we've got one here at headquarters. The one here at headquarters is reviewing videos that we've gathered along with help from the Bureau, and they're accessing other resources that are only available within this building as opposed to at the command post. Our search is continuing. Tomorrow we will continue to search the areas that surrounding where we've already searched. We will continue making as much contact with the community as we can, trying to find someone who knows anything about Lina. And I mentioned it yesterday that if anyone has any information at all, whether you think it may be helpful or not, let us make that determination. 210-207-7660 is the number to call. That is our missing person section, and that information will be passed on immediately to those working the ground on this case. And that's all I have for you right now. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, we don't have any further information as to where Lina may be right now.
You say you do have video footage that you're looking at. Is there anything that shows a person of interest, a vehicle, anything that we could tell people to look out for?
Yeah, no. We would put that out immediately if we did. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of video footages that we've recovered, and we continue to look for more video that may be out there that we've overlooked, but we have not come across anything yet that may help us as far as the video goes.
Chief, can you talk about the difference between the case being handled as an abduction versus a missing persons case?
Yes, if it were an abduction, we could either be looking for an individual, or we would have evidence of the child being abducted, and hopefully a tag number or a suspect to go along with that. Right now, we don't have any of that, so we're treating it as strictly as a missing person. That may change, but right now, it's still a missing person.
Chief, can you talk about the communication barrier with trying to get that message across to the community, the Afghan community in that country?
I think that we've resolved our communications issues right now. We have an interpreter.
By the way, let me ask you guys something, because when I was sitting here browsing before we started the stream, by the way, thank you guys for joining. Hit the like button. Thank you. The father's interview. So there's apparently a full video, and we spoke about the father talking the other day, but I don't think we watched the full video. It's like 20 minutes, right? I don't think we saw it. I can play it after this, but it's like the whole translation thing going on. So it's kind of like you got to wait and stuff. If I would have had time, I would have edited and chopped out the translation part, just left the English part in so we could understand, and it's quicker. But we can listen to that too after. And I'm going to get to some of the messages. I had two interesting messages about that area. I also saw, you could read the reviews, and you can look at the reviews from before she went missing. And that was kind of normal in that apartment complex from what I've seen and for what multiple people have told me. The kids kind of like outdoors running around. Somebody even told me, we're going to get to it in a second, I don't know if this is true, but that the kids would normally be out there by themselves till the nighttime. And in general, I don't know specifically about Lina, but just in general, that's what it was. But then I did read an article that said that there were other parents there. But if there were other parents there, then did nobody see Lina being taken? I don't know. It's kind of weird, man. But we're going to get there.
That things are flowing smoothly with that being said. But initially it was because, again, the dialect that was spoken by the family was not a common one, I'm told.
So that's what the problem was, the translation. It's the dialect they're saying, because it's not a common.
What kind of footage are you reviewing? Is it like video from Ring doorbells, or is it from the apartment complex?
It's anything that we can come across. Anything that we find, we're going to review. Whether it's a ring, or whether it's somebody's personal videos, a house video. No matter what type of video it is, if it has information on it that we're interested in, then that's what we're looking for.
Have any community groups reached out to the police department in hopes of helping, whether it's in the surrounding areas you guys maybe aren't searching? Have they reached out with canines or services like that?
We brought in canines from out of the area, from a missing person that specializes in missing persons. We brought them in the first night that we started our search. They picked up a scent initially, lost it, and we've not been able to pick it up since. The community at large has been very, very helpful in our efforts to find Lina. They've been very cooperative. Anything that they could offer, they did. The two leaders that I mentioned in the Muslim community have been very helpful. We've been putting things out on social media in that dialect, in Arabic, in hopes that someone will, may be able to help us out.
See somebody in the chat saying it's in Arabic. Izad, if you want to call, you can, or if you want to email me, and then you can maybe send me your number and I can call you if you want to explain on live. If not, we can do it after the live, but maybe you can, explain a little bit of the situation. Thank you, Brandy, for the super chat. Thank you, Flying Monkey. Brandy says, happy holidays. I got to catch the other ones that disappeared.
How important is the first hours in a case like this?
Early on, it's very important. And then, unfortunately, I have to say that the longer the time lapses, the less hopeful we become.
And I noticed you're working with the FBI. What about the Bexar County Sheriff's Office?
No, we have not sought assistance from the sheriff's office.
Chief, as a parent, what do you say to other family members that live in that community or just in San Antonio in general? There's a lot of fear for any person that has children. Do you think they can play outside?
I think at this point, with all the publicity that's behind this, there's probably not a parent who would leave their child alone for a second at that age going forward. So obviously you have to take normal precautions when you're out with your child at any public place. You have to take normal precautions.
Chief, do you mind, if you haven't already elaborated, what resources this FBI team has that you all don't, that can do this, helping in this case?
Sure, they can. If we have video that's not real clear, they can work on their end to clarify any video footage that's not clear. They have resources. They have boots on the ground here that are helping us canvass the area, and then there's a collaboration in trying to determine exactly what happened.
Has your search gone beyond San Antonio, or is it just here?
Not at this point.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for your
Thanks, everybody.
So that was the presser. Let me see what. And thank you guys so much for stopping by and the holiday wishes. I'll be looking out for the email if that person emails me. One of the quick things I wanted to show you too, I saw somebody mention about the billboards. And so, yeah, they have some billboards up. Nerdy Addict posted it on Twitter. I'll show you real quick. That was pretty quick. Got a billboard up. So let me refresh this in case there was an update. Okay. I believe the Islamic Center of San Antonio increased the reward to $75,000. We just watched the presser from yesterday, and we already know all these details here. Lina's family, who are refugees from Afghanistan who arrived in San Antonio in 2019. Lina's father said Tuesday night, he said he and his wife believed that she was abducted. So what I'll do now is I'll play the clip. I think this full version we haven't seen.
Okay. And he's the father of Lina, right?
Fixed.
¿Estás de Lina Plaras, güey?
Oh,
Yes, he's the father of Lina.
Can you take us back to yesterday? Just kind of give us the rundown of what happened.
I feel like we saw the short version of this. I don't think we saw the full one.
وای کچېرې د تېرې ورځې د پیښې په اړه موږ ته معلومات راکړئ چې څه وشول پرون.
Okay, is that gotcha?
پرون ورځ تقریبا شپږ بجې څه کم شپږ بجې وې چې مېرمن مې راته زنګ وواهه چې لور مې بېداره کړه شوې ده. بیا چې زه کله راغلم دغه ځای ته ترجمه کوي که بیا
Yesterday around 6 o'clock my wife called me and told me that my daughter has been disappeared.
او زه چې کله راغلم ما پوښتنه وکړه چې څنګه ورکه شوه بیا یې ماته دا کوم ځایونه کې چې ورکه شوه دغه هغې راکړه چې مقصد دې ځای کې زه ورته ناست وم دې ځای کې دې ناسته وه بس د پنجرې نه چې کله ووته هغه پاس سیموړ ته جګه شوه بس هغې نه وروسته ورکه شوه هېڅ دره کې ونه لګېدو چې څنګه وشوه بیا ما ټول د کمپلیکس وکړه خو پیدا مې نه کړه تر اوسه بیا هم پولیسو ته زنګ وکړو
Yes, when I arrived at home, I asked my wife that, tell me the story, what happened? My wife told me that the little girl, she exited the park, the small park, and just toward the pathway, and from there, she missed her.
What do you mean she missed her?
It means like she didn't see her anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she saw Lina.
She didn't see her. Just toward the path, she exited the.
بیا هم پولیسو ته زنګ وکړو
Yes, when I arrived at home, I asked my wife that, tell me the story, what happened? My wife told me that the little girl, she exited the park, the small park, and just toward the pathway, and from there, she missed her.
What do you mean she missed her?
It means like she didn't.
So this is the pathway story that we heard, right? That's what she's saying, that the girl walked off into some pathway and then just disappeared.
See her anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she saw Lina go which way?
Yeah, she exited like the fencing area
Uh,
towards the concrete path, and she was disappeared from there, and she lost like the scene of her.
lost sight of
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
And she had went back inside the house at that point, or what happened? Did she leave?
و کله چې هغه د پنجرې نه ووتله کور ته ولاړه ورسېدله
نه د ورکېدو نه مخکې یو ځل د اوبو په خاطر کور ته راغله بېرته راغله اوبه یې ځان سره ویوړې هملته پاتې شوه چې کله اوبه یې خپلې مور ته ورکړې بېرته ماشومانو ته ورغله ماشومان نه بیرون چې کله ووته د پنجرې نه ووته بیا نه ده بس تر اوسه ورکه ده
Yeah, before she got disappeared, she first went to the apartment just to grab a bottle of water, and later on she came back to the fencing and she just delivered the water to the other kids, and once she exited the fencing area, then she got disappeared.
Lina did.
Lina.
Did she run? I mean, she didn't, or she just didn't see her anymore. She didn't see her at all. The mom didn't see Lina at all anymore.
د هغه نه وروسته مور ونه توانېدله نور چې لینا وګوري
او د مور دا فکر وکړ چې کور ته راغلی ده کور په ځای کور کې وکړه هر ځای کې که نه کور کې نشته بس یو بل خواته لاړه ویې کتل چې
And this is the one thing I was told by, I think, the two people that messaged me, like, this is not really even a playground. I think it's like a dog park or something and something else, I guess. But the kids, I guess, play there or whatever.
لینا نشته
The mom thought that Lina might have gone back to the apartment, but when she went to the apartment and she realized that Lina is not in an apartment, she came out from the apartment and just searched in surrounding areas, but she couldn't find her whereabouts.
And no one has seen or heard from her since then, right?
د هغه نه وروسته وایي تاسو هغه نور نه ده لیدلی
نه نه ده مونږ
No.
How hard has it been for him and his wife right now?
دا ستاسو لپاره او ستاسو د مېرمنې لپاره څومره مشکله تمامیږي اوس څومره سخته ده تاسو لپاره
مشکله موږ په ټول عمر کې لکه دومره نه یو خفه شوي لکه په دې ورکه خفه شوي ولې چې دا یو په مور او پلار نه په ما او مېرمنه باندې نه زموږ په ټول فامیل باندې دا ګرانه وه بیا اولاد چا نو څه وایم ونس
Yeah, he is very disappointed, and he says that during our entire life, we have not been that much saddened that we were yesterday and today, and it has badly affected us.
And they're from, can you explain where they're from and how long they've been here in the United States?
وای که چېرته دا راته ووایي چې تاسو د کوم ځای یاستئ او څومره وخت کېږي چې د امریکا متحده ایالاتو کې یاستئ؟
زه د افغانستان یم. په امریکا کې مې تقریبا 2 کاله او 3 میاشتې کېږي چې زه په امریکا کې اوسېږم.
I'm from Afghanistan and I have been here in the United States for the last 2 years and 3 months.
Are they part of did they escape? Are they refugees, like as a family that they escaped from Afghanistan?
آیا وای تاسو د هغه مهاجرو له ډلې څخه استئ چې لکه فرار مو کړی دی د افغانستان نه دلته راغلي استئ او که د نارمل مهاجرو په صفت باندې دلته استئ؟
نه مونږ لکه هلته د ګواښ له وجې راغلي یو، لکه ګواښونه ډېر ول، د ګواښ وجې مونږ دلته راغلي یو فراري.
Yeah, he says that we came to the United States, we immigrated to the United States because of the threats that were posed to us.
While living there, right, as citizens in Afghanistan.
د دې له وجې چې هلته تاسو د افغان تبه وئ، د دې له وجې تاسو ته خطر متوجه و؟
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. How has today been? The FBI, police, the search. Can you take us into today? How hard that's been? Because I'm assuming they've been, asking a lot of questions. The search has been ongoing all day here. Can you explain the process of what it's been like for them?
نن چې دلته وای د FBI پولیسو کومه دغه پلټنه کوله دلته ستاسو د ماشوم د پیدا کېدلو لپاره، راته ویلی شي چې څنګه و لکه د دوی دغه پلټنه څنګه وه، لکه تاسو لپاره څومره مشکله تمامه شوه ده؟
مشکله خو دا وه چې پرون چې کله دا ماشومه ورکه شوې ده مونږ یو هم خوب نه دی کړی که نه، ما او مېرمن بیخي سپیده شوي نه یو. نو دوی هره لحظه راتله پوښتنه کوي، پوښتنه باید کړې وای که نه، خو لکه دوی باید اول نه د کمرې چیک کړې وای چې بیرون څنګه ووته. دوی نن غرمه دوی هغه چیک کړه وای مونږ کمرې نن چیک کوو غرمه.
I read that too. Somebody mentioned that I think the mom is pregnant. Somebody somewhere, I think it was somewhere in my chat, in the DM, somebody told me that. I couldn't confirm it though, but that's what I heard as well.
دوی باید مخکې نه باید د کمرې چیک کړې وه، د بیرون کمرې نه دي، د ټرافیکي.
He says that since the disappearance of my kid, me and my wife have not slept at all right after the incident, and the FBI police are coming here like any moment and just they are asking us like different questions. And the problem was like with the checking of the security cameras installed like on the intersections. They should have searched like these cameras yesterday, but unfortunately they started like searching the cameras today, which was too late.
پولیس نه اوس مننه کوم ډېر لکه په هماغه شپه یې ټوله شپه راته سره تېره کړه، ټول کورونه یې راسره وپلټل او نن ورځ هم دوی سره لګیا دي، خو لکه ما دا یو پیشنهاد دوی باید مخکې نه مخکې دا کمرې چیک کړې وای.
Yeah, he says that I still thank the San Antonio Police Department for their efforts to find my kid, and they helped me a lot. It was my recommendation if they could have checked the installed cameras on intersection a little bit earlier. And I'm still thankful of their efforts and their searching. Yesterday they searched like a lot of apartments in residence in the surrounding area.
Do they believe that Lina was kidnapped, abducted, or do they believe that she's still somewhere here in this area? What is their belief?
لکه تاسو څه فکر کوئ چې دا تختول شوې ده په دې ساحه کې به اوس دا وي، لکه ستاسو فکر که را سره شریک کوي؟
د پرون ورځې تر سهاره پورې د نن سهاره پورې موږ دا فکر کولو چې همدلته نوي افغانان ته ورغلي د هغوی په دې نه پوهېږي چې موږ د جینۍ سره څه وکړو، خو خیر یو څوک به پیدا شي یا به کور ته راشي ور به یې کړو که نه، خو نن 12 بجې زه پوه شوم چې دا تختول شوې ده.
Since yesterday I was thinking that she might have gone to the family of other Afghans who are living in surrounding areas, and that Afghans, like most of them, have arrived newly to the area, so they might have not known, just how to just deliver that kid back to us. So I was thinking that way, but this morning I realized that she might have been abducted.
Why is that?
Well, this is the figure go.
خو لکه موږ د کمیونټي کوم واتساپ ګروپ چې د ټول په سنټونو کې هر افغان خبر دی په دې چې د لور ورکه شوې ده عکس یې شته تر اوسه پورې چا ونه وی چې مقصد دلته د تا لور ده نو زه دې واجب یم چې مقصد دا تختول شوې ده هېڅ امکان نه لري چې په دې کې کوم افغاني کور کې وي.
My assumption is that we got a group here in San Antonio. The Afghan community got a WhatsApp group, so all of the members of the community were aware that my daughter has been disappeared. So they were aware. I didn't hear anything from them, so that's why I realized that she might have been abducted, and she's abducted.
If Lina were be able to, if he could speak to her, what would he say to her? To his daughter.
کچرته تا د خپل لور سره خبرې کولای شوي نو تا به ورته څه ویلي وای؟
هغه پوهېږي که نه په تلیفون باندې زنګ باندې مې پوهې کړې ده چې زنګ ماته ووهي په نمبر نه په مسنجر کې ماته هر وخت زنګ وهي په خپله نو ما پوښتنه دې ځای کولی ځای مې نه کوله خالي مې داسې ورته وویل چې کوم ځای کې لکه دوی به راته ویلې وی چې که نوم یې زده وای نوم یې راته ښودلی وی که نوم یې نه وای راته یو څه خو به یې ویلي وای چې یا مې ورته ویل چې د شیشې ته کیمره ونیسه کیمره یې خلاصه کړه که نه چې دا باندې څه ووینو چې مقصد موږ ته ځای معلوم شي چې دا کوم ځای کې ده.
She could utilize, like the messenger. She was knowing on how to make a call, and she was doing that before. If I had a chance to talk to her, then I would have told her that please open the camera and show me the area that where you are. This would have been my talk to her.
So she was communicating before, after she disappeared?
د هغه نه مخکې وای چې دا ورکه شي د ورکېدلو نه مخکې هغې خبرې کولی شوې وای
ما سره په تلیفون کې خبرې کولې.
Yeah, she was able to talk via telephone.
After she vanished?
No, before disappearing. I mean, like in normal life, before disappearing, she was able, just to make a call to her father.
Okay. But what I'm asking him though is if he would be able to talk to her, like if she could some miraculous reason see this or sees this, or whoever has her sees this, what would she want to say to her? What would he want to say to his daughter?
This is kind of confusing question. Could you just?
So, if this interview, if Lina sees this interview, right, and if he believes that if she was abducted, the people that abducted her, if they for whatever reason see him doing this interview, what would be the message that he would want to give to them or to Lina? What would he want to tell her?
Oh, okay. The way we کچرته دغه ستا دغه وسنۍ مصاحبه کچرته هغه خلکو چې ستا لور تختولي هغوی دا وګوري نو ستا پیغام به هغه خلکو ته څه وي؟ لور ته به دې څه وي او خلکو له به څه وي هغه تختونکو ته؟
خلکو لپاره مې پیغام دا دی چې مقصد لور مې کوم جرم کوم داسې ګناه نه لري که نه چې دوی په هغې تختولي او نه زه دومره پیسې لرم زه دوی ته پیسې ورکړم که پیسې غواړي او لکه دې پوره داسې خاص ته نه لرم خالي وړم چې لور مې متوس پورې روغه رمټه.
Yeah, he says that he was an innocent kid, and if the kidnappers want money to return her back to me, then I don't have money, and I'm not a rich person to pay them just to return my daughter.
Has he been asked for money?
د پیسو غوښتنه خو بچا ده
نه د اوسه پورې چا نه ده کړې خو لکه موږ خپل وطن کې پیسې ډېرې په غواړي پیسو دپاره یې خلک تښتوي که نه دې په خاطر دلته هم د شاید وي
Till the moment nobody has asked about money, and I'm telling because back in my country when a child is abducted, the kidnappers are asking for money. Yeah.
Can you give us insight as to why the FBI is involved in this case?
وای کچرته د سي مونږ ته د خپل نظر راکې یا خپل دغه چې کوم دید د ستا دا مونږ ته وایي چې ولې اف بی آی په دې کې داخله شوه په د کیس کې
ولا نو د خاص نه پوهېږم چې ولې دوی په دې کې مداخله وکړه خو دومره ویلی شم چې مقصد ما ډېر غوښتنه وکړه چې ډېر کومک راسره وکړي زر کومک زر یې راته پیدا کړي شاید همدې وجه وي چې دوی موږ مداخله وکړه
I'm not quite sure that why the FBI intervened this case, but maybe because I asked, like the quick return of my daughter, so that might be the case that they intervened.
What does he miss most about her?
وای د هغه کوم شي پسې ډېره خفه ده
خوږ ده پاتې خیر Just
needs a moment.
No شو والله
Somebody asked, where's mom? Damn. That's the full. I don't think we got to. Definitely didn't get to see that the other time. I was just browsing and I was like scrolling down. I was like, wait a minute. There's a full interview. I was like, whoa. I guess I missed that last time. So let's call. Let me call this person, Ezra, and then we'll continue after. And I'll read you guys the messages too that I got. It's just crazy. There's this little girl, Lina, 3 years old, not found yet. Let's see if I get an answer.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
Good. This is it pronounced Ezra?
Yeah, so my name is Izzat, which is E-Z-A-T, and I live in Cedar Park. Cedar Park is close to Austin.
Okay. Okay, Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir. So actually, I just took some notes from the chat and from the conversation. So let me first tell you that I know this guy is my acquaintance. He is not my friend, but only acquaintance. So regularly, because the Afghan community here in Austin and San Antonio, they are close-knit community. We know almost each other. And often we would go to San Antonio and we would play cricket and then congregate and come back. So the problem with this case, let me clarify a few things just to the audience. The first problem with this case is the communication gap. There is a communication gap between the family, between the authorities, and the media. For example, they say that the language is a dialect of Arabic. So it's not a dialect. This language is called Pashto language. Pashto language is spoken in two countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan. 50 million people speak Pashto in Pakistan, and another 16 million people speak Pashto in Afghanistan. It doesn't have to do anything with Arabic. It is derived from Hebrew. That is one theory, and the other theory is that it is derived from European languages.
It's derived from European languages. Okay.
Yeah, so
it's not Arabic.
It's totally different language, not Arabic. Half of the Afghan population speak Pashto language. This was point number one. Point number two, a lot of these comments that I see, people are so judgmental. You are Americans, come on, with this technology and everything is one click away. You can go to the map, see a map and see how those people live. The emotions part. The way Americans show emotions, that is not the way ordinary Afghan men show emotions. Afghan men, they will hide their tears. They cannot cry in front of the camera. They cannot cry in front of the family members. They cannot, whether it's good, whether it's bad, it is the way it is. I have changed that thing. When my mom passed away, I couldn't cry for 2 weeks. And then when I was alone, because no one was letting me alone, when I was alone, then I cried. I cried my eyes off. So that is the culture part. And the other part is, Afghanistan is not the Middle East. It is Central Asia. Middle East is all the Arab countries, and Central Asia countries are Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, even part of Mongolia. That is Central Asia. So Middle East does not represent the Muslim countries. Middle East only represents Arab countries, and it ends till Dubai. Iran, Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, they are not Middle East. Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, they are not Middle East. This is another point. And the other point is, if you go to Google, and if you check the rating for this community complex,
right?
So there are a lot of remarks, reviews, negative reviews about children, about playing unsupervised, being noisy, and things like that. And that community complex has a very low rating, 2.6. And the other thing with the Eastern countries is that they do not supervise children. Why? Because children are more safe in those countries than in the Western countries. And I will give you the reason. The reason is, in the Western countries, if there is a pedophile, they will send it to the court, to the authorities. In those countries, they would directly send it to hell. So no one could dare messing up with children. Children would be playing in the park unsupervised, on the road unsupervised, and everything would be fine. No one could dare looking at them. So these families, they are new in the U.S. In 2.5 years, you cannot like learn the culture. You do not know, they haven't yet realized that in the US, you need to have an eye on the child 24/7. They should do that in the US, but they were not doing that. So the mom, I believe, for a good time was not there. And the other thing with the Afghan families is that children would go to one another's home. Okay, where is my child? Oh, he may be in Ahmad's home. Okay, like he may be in Mahmoud's home. He may be in the park playing with other kids. And these moms, majority of them are unemployed. Majority of them do not speak English. And majority of them, they do not supervise the kids. And that is part of the culture. And now I believe this family hide that fact from the authorities because someone may have told them that the wife could be charged for negligence.
That's what I was thinking.
The wife didn't. So the wife didn't have any idea that in the US, if I do not supervise my children, I could go to jail. That is another part, and that is like unfortunately true for Pakistanis, Afghans, Indians, Iranians, Middle Easterns when they come like to the US in the beginning, and they have some kind of perfection, not in a negative way, but in a very positive way with children. They treat children like so innocent beings, you know. But the thing is, when you come to the US, then you realize, no, you have to stay away from children. You have to supervise the children. So this family is relatively new in the US. That is the reason. And other thing is, okay, so the emotion part, I talked about it, the Middle Eastern part, Pashto culture, unsupervised. Okay, the age part. Now, in Afghanistan, women give birth, unfortunately, at home. That has been, even today, that is the practice. Like 80% of moms, they will give birth to children at home. So it means they do not have a birth certificate. Now, if someone says that, okay, now my age, I had to ask my dad, my mom, can you please like tell me what day it was? And they were not sure even about the day. But I came up with a date. So like in my friend, Facebook friend list, on 1st of January, there will be like 500 friends celebrating their birthday because that is a fake birthday. And I have to send them like wishes to 500 people on the Facebook, my Afghan friends. So this girl may not be 3. This girl may be 4. This girl may be 4.5. So because of the practice, they just estimate the age.
I see.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So in regard to the age, supervision, so I think I pretty much covered everything. And with the translation, like the translator was not a professional translator. He was a friend. He is a friend of this guy. So the media, they're so unprofessional. Like they would be talking about Afghanistan, it would be saying, oh, Middle East. No, it's not Middle East. It's Central Asia. Oh, Afghanistan is a desert. No, it's not a desert. 75% of Afghanistan is mountains. It's rugged mountains, Himalayan mountains, you know, where two tectonics converge with one another. Indian tectonic and Euro-Asia tectonic, they converge. So Himalayan mountains, they just like the height increases with the passage of time, you know?
Okay.
But the thing is, you know, I didn't come here to offend anyone. I'm sorry for my, you know, I'm a bit, but when I see like people, come on, this is 21st century. Everything is one click away. Like I was a kid. I knew which language was spoken in the US. I knew which language was spoken in Saudi Arabia, in Pakistan, in Europe. I was hardly 6, 7. I knew all these things. And at that time, there was no technology. But the thing is, it's good to do some research rather than thought like, you know, putting your, you know, like come out of this small bubble that you have made for yourself and you feel like so comfortable in that. And the other thing is one last thing, like in the US, if there is something, the first suspect would be the family member, the closest to that person, maybe husband, maybe wife, maybe parents. It's not the same in Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, children are considered treasure. And I can tell you why. Because of their economic and social realities. In the US, when a kid is 18, like the parents will kick his ass out, of the house and go away. In Afghanistan, it's not the case. A kid may be 25, he will be living with the parents, and then the parents would be expecting. So then the kids take care of the parents till they are 90, till they are 80, So they are considered treasure. It's not like, oh, okay, it's my son, I don't have to talk to them anymore. So that connection is so strong in the East when we compare that to the West, because the East is less developed, the West is more developed. With the development, there is more individualism. And those societies, till today, they are more communal societies. Like, have you seen this guy giving interview? There were 6-7 people around him just to calm him down, just to give him support. And the thing in the U.S., I don't believe it's the case.
Oh, thank you, man. So, I really appreciate you calling and clearing, some of that up.
You have any, so now my theory, and what the guys, the community, the people believe, the theory is that there should be, so my theory is that, if you go to those comments, some of those comments are not so productive or positive. Like one of the comments says that, oh, I hate this community, these children make noises, and they're Muslim, and this and that, So maybe someone in the neighborhood has snapped, and they can easily snap. I mean, one other thing with these Afghan families, they do not know how to live in an apartment complex. I mean, they have used to live in houses where they would jump around, they would run. It's not the same in the U.S. And each Afghan family has 6-7 children. And then suppose if they are like on the second floor and making all kind of noises 24/7, what do you think? What will be the mindset of the person living beneath them?
Right. Yeah.
Maybe that is the case. And also this area is not like such a posh area, lavish area. It's an area for people with low income. So maybe if there was a person who knew that, in this community, a creep, children are unsupervised and there are no security cameras. So maybe like that was a crime of opportunity. That is my theory. So let's see how it goes. If you have any kind of question, and if the audience have any kind of questions, please let me know. And I'm sorry for my language and for
I appreciate it, man. I like
anyone.
No, I appreciate it.
The father tells us his family moved here from Afghanistan 2 years ago.
But so your theory is it was a crime of opportunity, is what you said, right?
I think it was a crime of opportunity, or some of the neighbors just not, because all of these Afghans, they have problems with the neighbors.
Yeah, you can see the reviews. That's what I was wondering too. If they had any problems with anybody, or the other parents, or just people in the neighborhood. Yeah, like you said, you can see the reviews and people complaining about it, upset, angry, specifically about the kids. And I checked and I saw the dates. It was before Lina went missing, because sometimes people just troll, and they were complaining about it. I see it on the reviews.
Yeah, like also in Austin, and also like if there is one family in an apartment complex, that one family will bring another 10 families to that same complex, just to be like, so maybe that was a huge problem in the apartment complex. I mean, like, you should adapt to the culture of the society where you live. You cannot like make the life of another person hell, because you cannot like control your children. So that may be the case. Or another theory is that it was a crime of opportunity. Some creep just knew that there are children unsupervised, and he just like took advantage of the opportunity.
Well, thank you, man. Appreciate the call. Appreciate you clearing up all that. That was a great call.
Oh, welcome, sir. I love your
And
channel.
definitely
And I wish you.
a nice understanding too, because I had no idea about the culture, over there and with the kids and just even in that community, kind of how it is. So I got a bit more
I appreciate
understanding.
that.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, at least I get education from your channel. If someone has learned, one or two things from this conversation, that was worth the time. Take care, sir. Have a
Thank you,
wonderful
man.
rest
You
of
too.
the
All right,
evening.
take care.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Okay, that was a great call. Wow, I was not expecting that. And can we move? Somebody said, can we move on to the next caller? No. How about that? No. How about that? That was a great call. And yeah, I wasn't even planning on taking calls, but I was just like, oh, let's hear about it. It's really interesting. And I thought it kind of touched really great on the culture. We were actually talking about that today on Discord, like the culture thing. And, I sarcastically said, common sense is my culture, but he's very blunt, you know what I'm saying? He's not sugarcoating, and he was just saying, that is what they do over there, I mean, you can see the reviews, you can see people clearly upset about the kids. Let me read you the messages. I forgot about that. About 2 people, what they messaged me about that, the area over there. And that's what I said in the first video too, man. I understand like maybe that's how it is over there. And even over here, parents got to work. They got all these things going on. But over here, all the craziness that's going on, all these sick people. I love how he said, what did he say? Send them to hell. Like over here, we got the whole process and all that stuff. Over there, the P's, they send them to hell. I was like, yes, please. I like that. Send them to hell, right? People that do that to kids. Okay, so somebody messaged me, and thank you for this message. She said that her boyfriend lives in the apartment complex. Every single person exiting the complex is stopped and questioned, and they do a car search. Today, they searched my boyfriend's apartment. They checked everything: bedrooms, closets, drawers, cabinets, the sinks, the dispensers, and checking under the sinks, like the full shebang. They checked everything. The other thing too, this person said that they walked around the apartment complex. There's cops parked at every corner of the complex, parked at every dumpster. I'd never seen nothing like this. It's great. We walked into the playground that is surrounded by the apartments. And I say playground in quotations because I wanted to make clear that it's definitely not a playground. It is a small gated dog park, and there's a gazebo and also a small gated soccer field, but that's about it. And she said that, there's a lot of refugees in the apartments. These were her words. And she said, careless about their kids. And they're always walking and running around by themselves, which, he talked about. There is a handful amount of times I had to slam on my brakes because the kids would come running out of nowhere. So, I mean, this day and age, man, we talk about it all the time. It's just too crazy. Maybe since it's a community thing, maybe they need some sort of like designated, me personally, I don't trust the community just because I'm so paranoid. I don't trust the community, but I understand that's how it works with a lot of people. Community takes a village. I don't trust nobody. I'm paranoid, but I understand. And I should have asked him too. I mean, I know he said he's an associate, but it's just still so weird. How could nobody but there's no witnesses? I mean, maybe there's a witness and we just don't know about it. Like maybe they're just not saying. They're keeping certain bits of information from the public. And then around 9:45 p.m., we asked a police officer if there was any updates, but sadly, they still have no leads at all about Lina's disappearance. It's just wild. I can't imagine. And I'm trying to also, I sometimes think I have thoughts, but I'm trying not to judge or not judge. I didn't mean to say that. I'm trying not to jump to conclusions. I'm tired of the park thing, like I mentioned in the first stream. You keep hearing these horrible scenarios about the park situation, but I'm just waiting for more information because we got like I think it was the Australia story where the parents were camping and the kid was taken out of the tent, and it was so bizarre, right? It was so bizarre. And like, there's just, how does that happen? How did they not hear the kid being taken out? It's impossible, right? Like, and a lot of people, and I'll reserve my judgment, but a lot of people were saying, it's the parents, it's the parents, it's the parents. And that story is still a little fishy. There's still, because I hear there's substances involved with that. It's fishy. But it turned out to be the doll guy. Okay, this guy with hundreds of dolls in his house to the ceiling. And even that, somebody got offended about that. Oh, but some people, whatever. Somebody's always getting offended. Guy had dolls everywhere. Okay, and he had a fascination with that. Yeah, Cleo Smith. Thank you, Cleo Smith. That's why I'm kind of like, sometimes you got to be a little careful. I think about Cupcake McKinney, and that story was a mess too. The kid was outside. There was even a video camera. The kid was playing with other kids. The guy comes, takes the child. Weirdo. Okay, I don't even want to talk about the details with that. It's sick ass people, because they gave the child stuff too, like substance. It was sick people. And it wasn't actually the mom, and the mom and that dad with that story, they had issues. Trust me, they had issues. Okay, but it wasn't them. Now the Dulce story, I don't know. Mama looking kind of funny. When I saw that Dr. Phil episode, Mama's looking kind of funny. I don't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we gotta wait for more information, kind of reserve, and think about just be careful. And I say that especially because there's people out there that go and threaten families, go threaten people. Should never do that. Never advocate for that. .4:30 Central Time, 5:30 News Nation. Let's see if News Nation posted something. I have a couple other stories that we'll talk about. But incredible, this little girl's just vanished, disappeared like that. Yeah, I don't see nothing yet. All right, so let's move on. I just wanted to kind of briefly touch on the Utah story. Oh, Oakley Carlson, yeah. Oakley, well, that's a whole nother mess too. Yeah. So this story is with Madeleine Allen. This is the woman, the young lady that, met some guy on Kick. We talked about this on the previous live stream for like some sexual stuff, whatever. And she's had some struggles in her life and anxiety. She was a premature baby, like all this stuff. She even has a YouTube channel. So this guy, he held her against her will. He had like a court appearance today. It says the Utah man made his initial court appearance on Thursday for the kidnapping of a 19-year-old college student who authorities say was found naked, covered in coal in his basement 5 days after leaving her dorm to meet him. Brent Brown, 39, pleaded with a 6th district court judge to release him on bail so he could spend time with his children on Christmas. He was speaking via video link from the Sevier County Jail, where he has been held from the time of his arrest on Saturday. Brown faces charges of obstruction of justice, kidnapping, the R, horrible stuff. Brown allegedly took away Allen's wallet, phone, forced her to strip, and tied her up while he was at work, later claiming that it was part of a kidnapping role play. The teen also accused her captor of threatening her family. Judge Wallace Lee appointed an attorney to represent Brown and ordered him held without bail, citing his being wanted on a felony warrant from another county and possible threat to the community. When given the chance to weigh in on the bail, Brown said, "It would be nice to be home for Christmas. I don't get to see my kids." Crazy, huh? Amazing. So he's going to be back in court January 10th. I guess this is like a picture of him here making an appearance. That's the judge. Just a little update. And this is the other thing too that we talk about with the internet. People really are just, I don't know. It's like an increase. I mean, she voluntarily, I guess she met this guy, but sometimes too, this is what we talk about with the story. Sometimes people voluntarily go to do things and it's not what they think it is. And then it's not voluntary anymore. So court records indicate that Brown had multiple run-ins with the law over years, stemming from a wide range of charges, including traffic violations, assault, and witness tampering. In March 2018, a warrant was issued for his arrest in Box Elder County after he failed to appear before a judge in a witness tampering case. He racked up 2 additional warrants in the intervening years, including for failure to appear in a traffic citation in the Cache County and for an unknown charges last year in Wasatch County, whatever that is. Brown social media presence paints a picture of a self-styled macho cowboy with a day job working as an equipment operator. And we talked about this stuff. There's political stuff, the salad and beef, whatever. Just kind of a weird guy. And apparently has several children. This is the post from social media. So, yeah, and these are all the details we went over. Depression and anxiety. I watched her, one of her YouTube videos where she talks about her struggles in life. And I was thinking like, yeah, like when I watched her, I was like, she's totally somebody that I could see just from looking at her or the things that she was talking about, like the vulnerability. And I could see how these people out there would totally latch onto that, you know. So that's that. Just a other quick little tidbits, and then we'll get out of here. I didn't mean to be here. I just wanted to be like a short stream. Great, amazing call, though. I appreciate that. Just another cautionary tale. There was a family of 7, including 3 children, found in a Minnesota home, died of carbon monoxide poisoning, says the medical examiner. And this happened yesterday. 7 people were found dead inside a home in a northwestern Minnesota city earlier this week. Died of carbon monoxide poisoning. The victims were an immigrant family from Honduras and included 4 adults and 3 children. They were found just before 8 p.m. Saturday by family members conducting a welfare check at the home in Moorhead. Those family members called police. Investigators found 2 sources that produce carbon monoxide, a furnace and a Kia van, both located in the garage. The furnace appeared to be working properly while the Kia had some mechanical issues related to the battery. The van was found with a dead battery and a half tank full of gas. The source of carbon monoxide has not yet been determined. The victims' blood samples are being analyzed to determine if there is a presence of hydrogen cyanide, which originates from the exhaust of a motor vehicle. So it would be interesting to kind of see, did they just leave a vehicle running? You know? Or, I don't know, maybe the furnace. The process could take 8 weeks. The carbon monoxide detector was found in the house, but it was unplugged. The only working detectors in the house were for smoke. The building had last been inspected in 2020 and no issues were found with the detectors. So, these are the people that passed away. Belen, Marlene, Eldor, Castillo, Mariella, Braylon, Mike, Maribelli. They all live together. Rest in peace. I always thought those were like one of the weirder deaths, just to, you know, I just can't imagine like just coming there and like, or whoever's coming and answering the call or doing the well check and I guess breaking in or whatever it is to get inside or getting the key, and just everybody just dead. It's gotta be like just weird. And I feel like I've heard of so many stories like this. There's another one too. Just a quick one. I don't even know too much of the details. Momo sent this to me earlier today. I feel like every day we're just hearing something like this. 2 kids, 2 adults dead in a murder-suicide. I mean, stuff we talk about all the time. Let me see if this video
First,
plays.
we begin with a terrible scene ahead of the holidays, rocking a tight-knit Central Ohio community. 4 people found dead in an apparent murder-suicide in Lithopolis.
Investigators say that a father shot and killed his wife and their 2 kids before turning the gun on himself. We want to send things straight out to Steve Levine.
All the time I'm hearing stuff like that, man.
Tonight, Steve, what are you learning?
Bob, I can tell you that Kiera Anderson, 29 years old, worked here at this Applebee's in Lancaster. Family and friends tonight remembering this young mother, who they say worked here just last night. But the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office tells us this morning deputies found Anderson, her 5-year-old and 2-year-old sons, found shot to death in their Lithopolis home around 10 this morning. Deputies say Anderson's husband, Joseph, shot and killed the family before committing suicide. We talked with Erica May, the godmother of Anderson's 2 sons, Joseph Jr. and Jeffrey. She tells us Kiera was a devoted mom to her 2 boys, friends and family devastated by this loss.
Kiera she has a beautiful light in everyone's lives. There's not a soul that won't miss her. There wasn't a person that she met that she didn't touch. She loved baking and she loved her boys more than anything in the world. And I know this is not what she wanted for them, and that's the hardest part of it.
May tells us Anderson and her husband were both military veterans and moved to Ohio several years ago. The Sheriff's Office tells us it is investigating this as a murder-suicide and that there had been no previous calls or reports or runs to this home in the past. On your side, live.
Both were in the military. So, brand new story developing. Not much information out yet. Oh, last final thing I wanted to kind of mention, and then we'll head out of here. I meant to cover this story a while back when it happened. And yes, this is another Florida story. And this is the whole, maybe you guys remember or have heard of this, the Liberian. There was a road rage incident. I think, let's just watch because I don't remember the full story. But this is just another thing. Just be careful in the holidays, man, especially out there on the road. Just people, Lexa was saying something earlier on Discord about this woman, if I remember correctly. She, I guess, flicked somebody off. The person was behind her, I believe. They shot into the vehicle. I think, did they kill a child? They killed a child or something like that. It's just kind of not worth it, man.
What's that? A family now,
Guns drawn in the front yard. A hit and run leads to a deadly shooting.
A lady is shot. Who shot the lady? Hey.
A pregnant librarian shot and killed after police say she pulled out a gun on a motorcyclist that she hit.
The dude on the bike shot her.
Orange City Police.
So I really need to, I should let it play, but I believe she hit the guy, then she leaves the scene, I believe, and so the guy follows her, and I think somebody else followed her to the house, and so she goes in and takes out a gun.
Police say she was shot in her front yard, but they say she started the whole thing by hitting the motorcyclist with her car on purpose and then driving to her home to go get her gun. Fox 35 Stephanie Buffamonte joins us live from the crash scene with the latest on the investigation. Stephanie.
Yeah, it all started here at Wisconsin Avenue and Volusia Avenue. Police say Sarah Morales hit the motorcycle driver here at this intersection. That's when he followed her down the street and shots were fired.
He fired me! Hit me out! What's that? A family now, Put the gun on!
Oh, my bad. Did I leave the volume up too? I did. Sorry if that's too loud.
You can hear the chaotic scene unfolding as police say a man shot Sarah Morales multiple times outside of her home on Wisconsin Avenue. Police say Morales intentionally hit the man while he was on his motorcycle and that man and a witness followed Morales to her home. A witness told police Morales went inside and came out with a gun pointing it at them. And that's when the motorcyclist, who has a concealed weapons permit, shot her.
A lady is shot. Who shot the lady? Hey, Fox, come here. The dude that got hit on the bike. The dude on the bike shot her.
In the 911 call, the dispatcher asked the witness to perform CPR.
Is she breathing, sir? Hey, is she breathing? No. Okay. She's still breathing. Yeah, she's still breathing.
Morales later died at the hospital. Her family tells me she was 5 months pregnant. She had an 11-year-old daughter, too. Morales was a librarian at the Pearson Public Library. People who work nearby say it's shocking and sad to know she was carrying a baby.
I believe when it's your time, but Jesus, you don't want to go that way.
And she says road rage is out of control in the area.
Every day, just ride up and down that road, and you can't escape it. It's scary.
So, I mean, to me, it sounds like self-defense. I mean, it's, from what we're hearing, she hit him, the motorcycle, I guess on purpose, or I don't know how, why. And so not only did this guy in the motorcycle follow her, because I think that's so wrong too, to cause an accident or whatever it is, or even if you're the one at fault or you're not at fault, just to leave the scene or whatever, is just, that's so wrong. And so the guy in the motorcycle follows, and a witness as well. They're like, hey, we're not going to let this go. They follow her to her house. She goes inside and takes out a gun. And so this guy had a gun too. He had a concealed permit. You don't know who's carrying, especially Florida. You don't know who's carrying. Not worth it. Not worth it. This is all the time. I'm more like a A and B type of person. Just get to where I'm going and come back. I'm just direct. I know where I want to go, and I come back. Boom, boom. Because it's too much. I'm just yesterday, just to go to Target, to go shopping, buy a couple presents on the way back. These people are just on edge. I don't know if they're on stuff. I mean, I don't know about her, but just on stuff, mental issues. Maybe it's the long haul virus side effects. I've often wondered about that too. Just like the long, they say the COVID long haul, whatever. People already have issues. Maybe that on top of it. I don't know, man. This person yesterday, like a nut job. I'm just sitting there chilling because there's cars coming. Where am I going to go? You know how somebody's behind you and they're just like, wait, like even they might even beep the horn. This person didn't beep the horn, but they might even beep the horn. There's literally nowhere for me to go. What do you want me to do? Throw myself into oncoming traffic? So I'm chilling and I got my daughter with me. This nut job just swerves into oncoming traffic and then goes in front of me while I'm just sitting there waiting at the light. It was a green light, but I'm waiting because it's oncoming traffic. And he just right in front of all the cars, and the last lane almost like that. And I was on the phone with Momo. I was like, yo, and she was like, you need a dash cam. We were talking about that on Discord today. I do need to get a dash cam because one, I'd have so much content. Like every other day you see something, I'd have so much content, but two, just for protection, to protect yourself, in case, insurance, whatever. It's good to have that stuff, just like the cameras at the house, the Ring cam and all that stuff. I'd have a bunch of content with these Florida people every day. Every day. Some people feel pressure too. There's somebody behind you beeping. Just chill. So, but yeah, man, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really, prayers for Lina to be found. And the Florida woman, Paola. That Paola is just not much information. Really little, besides she has some mental health issues. And her car's at this park. This huge park. And she's mentioned self-harm before, so it's kind of like, I don't know. But it was really interesting too, what the guy said about, just the at-home birth. And so it's like a prediction. The age is kind of like a prediction, so she may not even really be 3. And that would kind of make sense why the height and weight is off. So very interesting. No idea. Amazing caller. And I could tell he's like unfiltered. I like people like that. Just tell me how it is, man. I don't want the BS, beating around the bush, all this stuff, just straight to it. Glitch said I wrote rape once. I get pissed off sometimes, but like I don't like scream at people. I don't flick people off. I'll say it in the car, like, I'll curse or whatever, but like I don't like look at them and do all this stuff. I've chilled out a lot. I had one ex that was crazy, screaming, you see Robert? I had to tell her to chill multiple times, like, yo, you're gonna get us killed. Like, chill. Crazy ass chick, yelling, screaming, You can do that alone when you're by yourself. Don't do it with me in the car. Because then I'm the one. I'm the guy. I got to do something. Then you start acting wild. I don't want to deal with that. Oh, yeah. Leela. Thinking about a story seen here in NZ, New Zealand, I guess, is the truck driver who received 110 years for accident that happened in 2019. I heard something about that story too. Oh, let me just give a quick thanks to the people that super chatted. Sorry about that. Got really caught up with the calls and stuff. Carrot, thank you so much for the super chat. Philly, Brittany from earlier, Pam, Cool Edge, Brandy, Kays, Stone, Allie. And there were some people that sent stars on Facebook as well. Just want to say a quick thank you. Phoebe. There was somebody else. Phoebe, thank you so much. There's got to be a way to. There was somebody else. I don't know. Sorry. Phoebe. Oh, and Brandy too. Brandy, thank you. Appreciate that. That's cool. Thank you. And Bernice, thank you. Watching from Mississippi. Thank you, Bernice. And that's it. So, all right, but yeah, I'm gonna roll out. Love you guys. And if you haven't seen yesterday's video, definitely check it out. Definitely check it out if you haven't. Put a lot of work into it. The Veronica and Kaya, and definitely check out Discord. Discord is pretty dope. As long as you follow the rules, it's pretty dope. All right, so take care of yourselves. Be safe. Happy holidays. I'll be following these stories. All right, love you guys. Peace. Peace. For fuck's sake. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, who's still here? Lord Almighty. Wait, can we actually stay for one more second? Hold on a second.
And we continue to follow break.
Hold on. Let's do one quick one. 500 people gone. One more quick one. One more. I said two. No, not two. One more quick one. Some sort of serial killer. I'm surprised Silvio didn't catch this yet. Silvio is usually on all the Miami stories. He probably did something. I didn't see it yet in the text, but Heather sent this.
Breaking news out of the city of Miami. That's where officials announced the arrest of a suspected serial killer.
Authorities held a press conference just a few minutes ago, and we're learning more about the man they now have in custody. CBS 4's Joel Waldman joins us now live from Miami Police Headquarters with the new details. Joel?
Good evening, and a scary evening at that. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez and Interim Police Chief Manny Morales announcing just a short time ago at a press conference here at PD headquarters that they have arrested a suspected serial killer. That person is 25-year-old Willie Maceo Suarez. Police say that he is currently sitting in jail on a trespassing charge. They say that that trespassing charge is a whole other story that they wouldn't get into, and said it was a fascinating one. They do expect to charge him for murder in just a matter of moments. They said as soon as they get back inside, they were going to prepare those charges. Now, these murders, according to police, happened within 2 hours on Tuesday night. The first was on the 400 block of Southwest 2nd Avenue. The victim there survived. Police say he is in horrible shape. He's at Jackson Memorial, and there is a good chance he will not make it. And then about 2 hours after that person was shot, police say another gentleman was shot in the Wynwood area. It turns out that both victims in this case were homeless, and police say that in at least one of the instances, the shooter fired the weapon from the car without even getting out. Now, police are also eyeing Maceo Suarez in another homicide back on October 16th. This was the stabbing of a homeless person. They would not get into details, but say that an investigator working on that case noticed something that connected Tuesday night's murder and attempted murder to this stabbing back in October 16th to be precise. Now, on his Facebook page,
the lady's watching like, oh, I'll take him. Yeah.
It shows a man that was interested in real estate. He reportedly worked as a real estate agent for Century 21, also interested in fast cars and cryptocurrency.
Yeah, he doesn't look like your typical, I don't know. Usually you can see the insanity. Like sometimes you can see it crazy, but they don't all look crazy like that, I guess. Yeah, but he looks like a model type of guy. Looks
And
like
to
he has,
that,
like he has everything's together.
both the mayor and the chief says you can never judge a book by its cover.
Police officers are trained to go after the actions, not the person, not the way they look, but the way that they behave and the actions they take. I have been in law enforcement for 28 years with the city of Miami, and I can tell you, I have seen criminals that fit every type and every look.
It surprises me anytime someone commits a crime of this kind. I'm surprised. If it's someone who doesn't have a criminal history or someone who, it would be harder to explain. That makes it all the more shocking.
Now, police also say that they recovered a car and a firearm that they believe was used in the commission of these two crimes on Tuesday evening. Meanwhile, it turns out that Suarez Maceo is from southwest Miami-Dade, and he attended, reportedly, Miami Sunset Senior High, again, just 25 years old.
I don't know. Make any of this make sense. Thank you, Philip, for the membership. Wow. So yeah, I guess real estate, cryptocurrency. Like modeling and stuff. That is crazy. And it seems like, I guess he was targeting homeless people. Is it a thing for homeless people, or are they just like, he feels maybe like easy targets? Maybe nobody's going to care. Maybe nobody's going to look into it. I don't know. Or just random shootings. I thought of Sam, what's that guy's name? Sam something. That guy was just in, I think it was New York, right? Just shooting random people. Sam, I don't know. Sam the killer. Son of Sam. David Berkowitz. Yeah. There are all kinds of stuff going on, man. But anyway, man, yeah, I'll be out of here now. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Heather, for the link. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. All right. Love you guys. Peace. Adios.